Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Factorio Heavily Modded. So, today I'm speeding up all the footage to about 4 times typical, but I want you to pay attention to something that's about to happen. This is actual speed right now. And watch this, I'm going to zoom in on it here. Somebody throws up all over the ground right here. And I don't know who, but anyway, what that means is that there's actually a form of enemy, whether it's a biter base or a spitter base or a worm or something, that has expanded there. And it's right next to our base, which is very concerning. This is what I'm talking about with the rampant mod, and I'll actually have another good example of it in a little bit. But this thing spawns right here, and you can see as we come into view of it here, it's actually a worm that has spawned right next to our base. You know, almost within shooting distance to some of our belts here. And yeah, so we have to go take that out real quick. And then we take another quick look around and find out, hey, there's actually a whole biter base right here. You know, there's a spawner and 5 worms just sitting here. You know, it's a spitter nest. Which is like, you know, this is what I mean with rampant, when it's like you never know what's going to happen, because look at how quickly these things have spawned and expanded here. But yeah, really important that we take care of these guys. Let me adjust my microphone level here a little bit. I feel like I'm a little quieter than I typically would be. But yeah, let's up it a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that's about right. So we're now copying our factory over here. We're going to build our factories up. And something I still don't realize about that iron issue in the smeltery over there, but something I also didn't realize is that we never actually made the assembling machines and laid them out for the transport belts, just the ones for the inserters and for the electric mining drills. I also accidentally, just a second ago, when I placed those assembly machines for the engines or whatever they're called, motors or whatever, not the electric ones, but the other ones, I accidentally put them in as inserter parts, which are definitely not what we need for electric mining drills. So bear with me, I will eventually fix that before we get it up and running. So we're going to put this big old wall here because everything's spawning right here, so obviously there's a reason that we definitely need a wall. Now we're going to spend some time crafting some transport belts, kind of adjusting this and bringing this belt down to the area down there. Leaving just enough for that belt balancer to work. And we're going to bring it down here. And we need some more transport belts. So we're currently crafting some more, so we're going to sit in our workbench here. I've sped up this footage a little bit faster to allow for that. But yeah, this is a pretty big issue here. So so we're now going to go down here and connect the iron plates as well. Just put them right next to this aluminum plates. We're going to get rid of all these wood or trees and rocks. And our inventory's full, so we have to go up and empty that out up at our base here to the hub. We're getting close to filling up this hub as well, so that's something to be on the lookout for. And what I don't realize, I just now realized, is that we have those 4-burner mining drills in there that we could easily turn into electric mining drills at some point. But we're under attack again, and look at that. There's another base and a worm that just spawned right next to our wall. This is what I mean when I am talking about this rampant mod. It's like, it's right here next to the wall we just built, and this thing has spawned. And I want you to pay attention. I'm going to zoom in on it here in a second. As I go to take this worm out, I want you to watch it, because it's very interesting. This is another good point about expansion here. This worm, as I'm shooting at it, turns from a worm into a nest. Just as I'm currently in the middle of attacking it. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about with this rampant mod. You never know what's going to happen when you go to attack a nest, or even when you have, you know, you think you're safe, but you're definitely not safe. So we've got to keep an eye out on this corner for absolutely sure, because everything seems to be wanting to expand here. So we need to keep an eye out on that, and we need to get better defense soon. I look at the military science, and as I explained last video, in order to get military 2, we actually need to get the logistics tech cards, which is going to be a minute, because we got to automate all the rest of the stuff here to do that. But I also don't know why I leave that iron mining depot. There's no point in it, since the drills are supposed to take up for everything we need for that, but it's there. Now we're going to get back into building our factory here finally. Routing belts. Yes, this is a spaghetti belt system. I apologize. There's definitely plenty of ways that this could go better. This could go worse. It's not the worst design I've ever made in my life, but it's also not the best. So just keep that in mind, that I could be better, it could be worse. But we're going to speed up the footage a little bit faster here for all this crafting, because there's a lot of crafting taking place right now. And actually, we get interrupted because some more biters are attacking us. Now, thankfully, there wasn't another base that spawned right next to our wall, so we didn't have to go and take out a base. But they definitely told me, hey, let's put some turrets right here to protect this wall, because there's a ton of biters that come from this direction for some reason. Even not during the waves, they come from this direction. So we've got to figure out why that is, and we really need radars, but I think that also takes logistics tech cards and a few other things that we have to research. So we're going to get to that, but we've got to get through a few more things first. So yeah, we're going to route all these belts here for these 2 factories, and then realize halfway that, hey, we don't actually have the transport belt factories set up here. And this is a neat little triple splitter. It's actually a quad splitter, but I just did the triple splitter there. And once again, I've got to look and see if there's a triple splitter mod. I'm sure there is, but probably will download that at some point. But yeah, it's a mess. And we're now during another wave, so I'm slowing the footage back down to normal ×2 speed to attack this wave that we're now dealing with. They're all coming from this direction down here, once again, which makes me think that most of the enemies in our world are focused in this area. I also think it has a lot to do with the fact that there's water on the other 3 sides of us for the most part. There are some ways to get around it, but for the most part it's all water above us, and below us is where all the land is. So that's probably why we're being attacked so much from this corner. And if we put some defenses up on the top, we probably won't ever have to worry about it. But right now we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to get through this wave here at the normal ×2 speed here. And we notice there's some conveyor belts and stuff up here getting attacked, so I'll walk up there to do that, to fix those. These right here, they get down in here and then get, destroy the conveyor belts and then get blown up by the turret. But I should really move that turret closer to the wall, but of course I don't. And we're slowly running out of ammo. We now have 19 ammunition in our inventory here. And we're going to run out very quickly, so we have to go back and get some more from our stockpile in a minute. But there's some pieces that were destroyed, and it's just a couple of walls down there, so I'm actually going up here to empty the inventory some. Actually grab some more stone, not empty the inventory, so we can make more repair packs, and then to grab some stone walls up here, which I realize, hey, I should do. But first I'm going to grab some more ammo. But yeah, I need to grab some stone walls to take down there to fix the wall that was destroyed and continue to build the wall that we need. I also put another 2 mining drones in the lead mining facility, because we do need some more lead coming in for more ammunition, because it really does take a lot of ammunition to beat this. And we are not even close to beating this. We won't be close to beating this for another long time. I mean, I'm talking already. You think about it, Factorio 2 adds hundreds of hours of playtime. As space exploration adds hundreds of hours of playtime. So combining the 2 just makes it even, that much more. So we're going to be at this for a long, long time on this channel. But this is going to be our one, I think, kind of our one long-running series, and then we'll have, smaller series throughout. Now I'm not sure exactly what mod does this, but there's something in here that makes the turrets have like tiers. So after they've killed enough enemies, they gain a tier, and I don't know exactly what that means, but it's kind of like with the player leveling up, the turrets level up as well. I'm not sure if that means they do more damage or what, or if it's just to show that, hey, they've killed however many enemies. I need to look into that a little bit, but yeah, that would be interesting to find out. But yeah, we've once again run out of transport belts, so we go into our crafting grid, and I speed this up as well, crafting some more transport belts. This is now at 6 times speed, and then we're going to switch back to 4 times speed for the next good while here. Just about 12, no, I want to say it's more like 15 minutes worth of video here at 4 times speed, creating this factory until we once again get attacked by biters. And switch to doing a couple other tasks here. But so for the next 15 minutes, you're going to see me mess around with belts and inserters in different ways, and splitters and underground belts. And once again, I'm not a pro at Factorio. I haven't played the game for hours and hours and hours. I'm doing the best I can, just out of my mind. Kind of crazy here, but yeah, it's belt spaghetti at its finest, for absolute certainty. And I also mess up a couple times by doing that, what I just did, putting a splitter on an output of double assemblers. Of course, we'll keep one of the inserters, not putting anything out unless you take from both outputs of the splitters. So yeah, that was stupid of me. I go back and fix some of them, but not all of them at the end of this video, or in this video, and I'm going to fix those in the next video as well. So yeah, I'm now changing up the stone bricks a little bit, because I noticed that we need stone bricks to craft certain things like assembly machines, and in order to have those, I need to have stone bricks. So I take one of the chests and turn it into just a stone brick storage, whereas the other one is still going into the stone wall creation assembler. So yeah. So now we're setting up the transport belt system here. We'll split off the iron plates the way they need to be, going into the iron gear system here, just like I did for the other ones. We're then going to split an aluminum plate spot off of here, because we need that for the next 2 steps. We need to split it off for these engine things, and we need to split it off for the transport belts themselves. So we're going to split that right here, and we're just going to combine them onto one belt to feed into these assemblers, which works just fine. Then once again, we're going to come over here, output these engines onto a belt, and then combine them with the aluminum plates onto a single belt again, to go into the transport belt assemblers at the end here. We're then going to output those onto a belt, and then into a chest, just because that's what we need. It's part of our mall here, which is basically what we're making, just a small sized mall for 3 different things, and eventually we will probably automate the 2x2 assemblers and the 3x3 assemblers until we get higher up tiers, but this mod pack does a very good job. And you see I just fixed that double splitter issue, double output going into a splitter. I fixed that issue just there, because I'm just going to take one output towards that and one output towards another one. But anyway, and I put it right back. Look at that. I put it right back. I thought I fixed it, but I put it right back the way it was. That is stupid. Okay, so I am an idiot sometimes, and I don't realize these things until much later after the fact. And you'll notice that throughout a lot of these videos that I don't pay attention sometimes. So yeah. But okay, here we go. Replacing down all of our assemblers, because we need a little more extra space there in between the small components and the larger components. And yeah, so now we're just kind of trying to route everything to where they need to go. Once again, crafting some more splitters, because we needed more splitters, because I'm using tons of them in this build. Probably could have gotten away with it a lot differently, but that's how I'm doing it. There's not an easy way to do this, and I'm not the best at ratios. That's why I use Hellmod. So I just kind of say, okay, well, we're just going to take and put, you know, because I have the two iron rod assemblers, and that's fine. But then I combine them, quote unquote, into one splitter, which really doesn't combine them. It just, you know, it's, I don't know. I'm trying to explain it and I'm just failing. So I'm just going to stop talking right there. Anyway, split off the aluminum plates here to allow for a couple of inputs into our automation core section. And I that's how I decided to wire that one or run that one. So then I've got the iron gears and iron rods going onto a singular belt that's split into two inputs as well. And then this one's going to split aluminum plates and iron gears into two inputs for the electric motors, and then I'm also going to bring in the aluminum cable just to two inputs for those two as well. Just using an underground belt to save some space and try to not interfere with those splitters there. So then I'm going to grab a bunch more transport belts. We're actually making a pretty decent, because it's one transport belt a second, so we're getting tons of transport belts. We actually have 600 in our inventory right now. That's great. I'm very happy about that. We're now going to split off these inputs, and I'm trying to figure this out at the time, and I ended up just deleting everything I built and completely restarting with it here, just for the inserter parts here, because it just didn't turn out like it was supposed to. But yeah, so I'm going to actually combine the aluminum plates and the iron gears once again onto a singular belt. I'm actually going to combine them earlier on up here. Then split them off into a different thing, and I'm just going to run these, whatever that other input is, I think iron rods, yeah, I'm going to run them in an underground belt system just like the other one. So then I'm going to split, and there we go. So now everything except these little engine pieces here are done. We just need to split off some aluminum plates, which we already have right there, run it underneath, and then combine it with another set of iron gears and split it into double inputs for those. Now we have all the inputs from the small components to the larger components of the inserters, the burner inserters, and the inserters. All we have to do is wire up or run the belts for the burner inserters, and then into the regular inserters and put those in a chest as well. So here we are here, spreading those factories out a little bit, the assembling machines here. And now we're going to run the pieces we need for those. First we're going to craft some more splitters, because we're always in need of more splitters. I really think after building this thing that we should have an underground belt and a splitter factory as well, but that would mean expanding our aluminum and iron, so we might get into that next episode, we might not. It just depends on if I really think it's worth it, which probably is, because also this right here, this little filter iron rods off really does not work, because it just robs that automation core assembler of iron rods, and once again I do that double output into a single splitter thing that completely cuts off one of the assemblers from even making what it's supposed to make. So, you know, now I'm making a bunch of inserters, but I'm going to fix that probably in the next episode. Some of those I fix, like the automation core problem, I fixed that in this episode, but next episode I'll fix the rest of these, the motors and the engines and the inserter parts, because that is dumb. I'm making a lot of rookie mistakes here, but you know, that's what you get when you haven't played Factorio in you know, a long time. Well, I have played it, but I just I don't know what was going on in my brain. I'm sorry, but I'm not the smartest half the time, so you know, you can expect that. But see, the funny thing is, I notice, hey, you know, these things are not getting as many components as they need to be, and I'm still like, oh, well, I guess it'll be fine. It's making one a second, so it should be alright. And it's like, no, it's not alright. Fix the problem. But anyway, now we're going to go on to build the electric mining drill section here. And I build this way and then realize, hey, that's not going to work, so I have to completely destroy it and rebuild it, because I need two belts, because I have three components going into each piece here. And I didn't want to use the same design as before, because it would just be way too much. So then I just do this, a little bit of a system here. And it does give priority to the first assemblers, but it ends up working out in the end. See, the engines will get priority, and then the motors will have them. But because they use the same ingredients except for the aluminum wire, I can just run it that way. And I should have run it that way for this the inserter factory as well, but I didn't. So, you know, it's just a big mess of belts now, and could have been a lot better. But see, here's where I fixed the automation core problem. Giving the second assembler iron rods, and then I still don't fix the splitter output. I don't think, I didn't remember seeing that just a second ago. But yeah, here we go, setting up the inserters for the third piece there, the wire to the motors, and then setting up all the power lines and connecting it. And now we're going to run those motors and such into where they need to go. So the electric motors need to go to the electric mining drill assemblers, and the regular engines need to go to, or the combustion motors, whatever they're called, need to go to the burner mining drills. But I also realized at this point, oh, we need stone bricks for the burner mining drills, and we don't have any. So we're going to have to set that up here. First, we're going to run this little iron plate belt here across, just horrifically through the rest of our factory to get to here. It's a lot of dumb decisions, but it is what it is. I wanted it functional, and I didn't really have the time to complain because of the stinking biters coming and attacking us all the time. So I go ahead and plug in stone bricks into our Helmod ratio system and find out, okay, how many furnaces do I need? How many mining drills do I need? And so I make all of that, and I come up here and place those down. I actually ended up putting it in the wrong spot, and I move it to the same spot as the plates and such, so that way we know, okay, how much fuel do we need as well, and it doesn't change the amount of fuel processing plants that we need. So I'm just going to run that to it. Now I only put 4 drills originally, but I actually switched that to 8 just to give it a little more processing, even though we don't need it. And once again, we've got another wave here. And I didn't realize that when I was editing this video, but yeah, there's another wave here, so it's just going to go by at 4 times speed, and I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to worry about it. I think we've fought enough waves that y'all kind of understand what's going on with them. And I think even I kind of spend most of it just sitting up here doing this, letting the turrets take care of it, from what it seems like. Yeah, I don't think I actually went and fought the wave. Anyway, I guess we'll just ignore it. So yeah, back to stone bricks. We're now setting up the furnaces, and I actually decide to put the input in the middle and the output around the outside, which I don't know exactly why. I think I did it because that's how the alumina is, right there on the edges, but originally I had planned it for the other way around. But it's just how it worked out. So yeah, anyway, come down here, get some more transport belts, and set up the furnaces here. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I have to switch it to a double input belt because the stinking stone brick recipe takes zircon, stone and zircon and fuel. So I have to actually put 3 inputs into each furnace, not 2. So I run the fuel separately, independently, and then I run the stone and the zircon together into the other row there. So now we are going to up the stone production just a little bit by, or doubling it actually, not upping it a little bit, but doubling it. Yeah, we're now hooking everything up and connecting the belts here to a little splitter and a balancer set up here, and running it out along the same path as the aluminum belt so that we can have it at our factory down here. And we're just going to run it straight into the burner drill setup on the same belt as those little engines there, because they were only getting put on one side of the belt anyway, so there was a whole side that wasn't being used. Now we're going to combine the motors and the gears, run them down here for the electric mining drills, and then run the burner mining drills right in on the other side there. Pretty simple. And just set those up, connect them up, and then put them on a belt and then into a chest. And here we go, there's another wave. we're actually going to pause the video for, or slow the video back down for this, where we're fighting off this wave. Back to 2 times speed because we actually run out of ammo in our inventory, so we can't help the turrets. We have to go and get the ammo. But you'll notice up at the top, the evolution percentage is 1% now. So we're going to start seeing a lot of bigger biters and things. And we actually have a biter attacking us up at the remains of the spaceship up here. You see it up here attacking our wall up there next to our assembler up here at the top. So we're going to destroy that, kill that biter, and just fix it for now. And then I come back later because we get attacked again. But yeah, I also realized, hey, the power is very not working and not happy with us for building all these assemblers and not upping the power consumption or production. So I then decide, okay, I'm just going to put as many burner generators here as I can until we dry out this coal supply, and then we'll adjust it later. But yeah, for now we're going to just keep putting burners, generators, drying up this little bit of coal here in the base, or in the starter base, and using that to power our system here. But yeah, there's a few more biters, and I look and I didn't see any bases up here, but there probably is one somewhere, because if there's that many biters coming through, and I just didn't think about it by the end of this video, I just placed a turret. So in the next video, probably I'll start out with walking up there and checking on that, because it's kind of important to make sure there's no no biters up there trying to attack us, and just spawning right next to our base all the time. But yeah, so we're going to add 4 generators, and that ends up being exactly as many as we need to match power consumption. That's not enough, so we're going to add some more to future-proof it just a little bit. And yes, I realize we're putting a whole lot of pollution out, but I just prefer burner generators to the wind turbines in the first place because they create so much extra power. You know, adding pollution to the world creates more power than the non-pollution producing ones in this mod pack. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We're going to craft some tech cards so we can research these nanobots better. But for now, that's going to be about it for this episode. We're just placing down the rest of these burner generators and inserters and such. But, you know, if you did enjoy this video, like, comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Push the notification bell so you'll get notified of any future uploads. I really appreciate everybody watching. But yeah, this is me signing off, and I've been producing videos. Thanks for watching.